What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today I really wanted to go ahead and sit back and talk about a topic here that Mark Rubin actually put up over on Twitter, which made me extraordinarily happy when I read it over because it's just proof that skill-based matchmaking really is the downfall for a lot of these FPS games, and slowly but surely people are waking up. But I'm really sad to say that I think Call of Duty will probably be the last people to wake up, even if they, if we're lucky enough if they wake up at all. Now, as you can see right here, Mark Rubin was responding to a tweet posted by Wildcat. Of course, I'm not going to show the other tweet because realistically, the only important information out of this is what Mark Rubin put down right here. Just to chime in, we had a lot of people play over the weekend with no skill-based matchmaking, and it felt great to me. I think the community will back me up on that. I thought it made all the matches more interesting and with more variety. I mean, that could not be any better said. That right there is basically what classic Call of Duty used to be. Nobody in the world who is working a full-time job, going to class all day long, spending time with their family all day long, nobody wants to come home and, have their measly time, whether it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. If you're really lucky, you'll have an hour of extra spare time, if you are obviously working through life. Nobody wants to spend that time sweating to the max degree, competing like there's $5,000 on the line when realistically there isn't. You're working all day to make ends meet and keep a roof over your head, and then you're playing a tournament at home that's not even paying you out. What's the purpose? What's the point? There is none. Even for me, a content creator, I live, breathe, and eat different games, different topics. I'm always trying to be creative and come up with different things, but I cannot for the life of me hop on Modern Warfare 2 and get gameplay. It just simply can't happen. And sadly, I went back and I tried to play some OG CODs to get some footage for you guys, but the lobbies weren't really populated. So here we are. I got some Battlefield 2042 gameplay for you all, but I much rather sit here and grind through Battlefield 2042 and show you guys this gameplay while I rant about all this bullcrap, because at least this game is casual. I can hop on Battlefield at any time of the day. And yes, sometimes the teams are a bit lopsided. Yes, sometimes my team will literally do nothing that makes any logical sense. Like if it's a helicopter absolutely destroying us, nobody will pull out rockets to take it down. Or if it's tanks, nobody will try to, actually main and try to take down the tanks. Or, if we're playing Breakthrough, nobody will actually try to get on the Breakthrough point, so on and so forth. It happens. It's Battlefield. And also when you have low skill-based matchmaking, that's the outcome. It's randomized. You're not always going to get the best team. Sometimes you will get the best team. Sometimes the enemies will be cracked. Sometimes they'll be more mediocre, so on and so forth. But that's what we're looking for. When we hop into the game, we don't want every single one of our future experiences to be dictated already, to have them already planned out. When you're playing the game casually, if I'm playing it competitively, then yeah, obviously I'll hop in and I'm ready. I want them to reevaluate me every single game I play because I'm playing competitive. I want to rank. I want to, grind up. But when I hop on casually, it's the complete opposite. It's why I can't play it. It's why a lot of you guys can't play it. It's why a lot of people are straying away from Call of Duty nowadays. And it's the main reason why these developers are going to flop. Even in the future, if they make a perfected game, let's say with 2023, Sledgehammer literally makes Modern Warfare 2, but listen to all the problems. They add the red dots back on the minimap. They give us a dead silence perk. They fix this, they fix that. The whole game is perfected. I guarantee you that still over half the player base will not enjoy it and probably move over to Warzone just simply because Warzone has less skill-based matchmaking than 6v6 does. But let me go ahead and pull myself back a little bit here. The main purpose of putting together this video is to showcase to all of you guys so we can all have a understanding that this is happening. Developers are finally just basically coming out more into the open and discussing skill-based matchmaking with their community and making it more of a public topic. Skill-based matchmaking has been something that's been swept under the rug. It's like how would you even say it? Like a taboo type topic? It's there. Everybody knows it's real. Everybody knows it's a thing. But, the developers, when I say the developers refuse, they try to make it seem like it's non-existent, almost like it's some forbidden feature that nobody should ever know about, when in all reality, it's a very crucial feature that everybody in the whole community knows about, and it needs to be publicly spoken about. And finally, we have a developer with the balls to go ahead and openly talk about this topic. Again, what was the last time I ever heard a developer talk about skill-based matchmaking? Well, I think it was Sledgehammer Games, Michael Condrey. Didn't he talk about it a while ago, saying that that's, on Activision, because we were really getting feisty with skill-based matchmaking, and he came out in public and said, that's nothing the developers have control over. That's all Activision, this, that. But that's the most I've ever heard a developer talk about skill-based matchmaking. This right here, once again, I want to just flash it up one more time because his words really are good here. And like I said, I think this is how a lot of the community feels. I'm going to put a very huge emphasis on the end here. I thought it made all the matches more interesting and with more variety. I mean, that alone speaks thousands, hundreds of thousands of words in such a tiny little sentence. It really speaks a ton because it's true. That's what we loved about back in the day when it came to Call of Duty. I mean, Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 is probably the most noobed out COD title we can ever imagine. And I guarantee you, if they brought back Modern Warfare 2 right now to current date, and they had the same skill-based matchmaking system that we have right now in our modern COD games, nobody would like it. It would be the most toxic game you would ever see. There would be just nonstop cheese being used everywhere. It would be disgusting. But back in the day, that's not what a typical Modern Warfare 2 experience was. You want to know why Modern Warfare 2 was popular? Do you want to know why Modern Warfare 2 popped off? Nowadays, people say it's garbage because, of course, the only people who are playing Modern Warfare 2 are people who've been playing it since day one, so they are super duper 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 sweat lords. So, it's basically like having the modern skill-based matchmaking system already in place. But if you didn't play it in its prime, you simply just don't know. Every match was so unique, so interesting. Some matches you would have a bunch of people wanting to noob tube One Man Army Pro. Other matches you would have people going for nukes. To other matches you might have a sniper lobby. Other matches you might have people running around trying to, knife you. Other matches you might have people ninja defusing. And all of these people were crammed together into one big group, the Call of Duty community. Nobody was split apart. Nobody was separated. They only had the most needed version of skill-based matchmaking that they, would have in a game, and that's to help out people who might have disabilities, might have problems. That will definitely 1010% put them at a huge disadvantage against anybody else who is trying to go ahead and play this game. That's where skill-based matchmaking is supposed to be in place, and that was the core feature. That's what it is. That's what it's for. It has evolved. It's evolved into a permanent ranked system now, current date, but that's what skill-based matchmaking used to be back in the day. There was a protective bracket that made total sense, and then the rest of the community was not protected, okay? The rest of the community dealt with the community, okay? I versed sweats, I versed casuals, I versed, some of the most insane people I've ever seen. It doesn't matter. Every match was interesting and unique. And I just wanted to use Modern Warfare 2 because I thought that was a great example because, again, the game is, you look back on it, it's very newbie, it's very toxic, it's very obnoxious, but like I said, back in the day, it was a whole different world because the variety was there because of the matchmaking. But you could say that for any COD title. Call of Duty 4, World at War, Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2. They were all fun and interesting and engaging. You were able to put hours into the experience because guess what? Every match was unique and interesting. You want to know why we can't sit on COD like we used to? We all say it's because, COD just isn't the same. We played too much COD back in the day. I don't want to hear that garbage. I can still play all these old school COD titles 3+ hours and not get bored whatsoever, not get angry whatsoever, and enjoy every last second of it. That's not the reason. The reasoning is because of the frickin' matchmaking, the matches that you're put into. The games and the experiences aren't unique anymore. You know what you're going to get. You know that every lobby you join into will be the ultimate competition. It will be you. You won't verse anybody goofing off. You won't verse anybody having a good time, trying to play a different style. You verse someone who is going to be sweating their nuts off to match up to your exact KD, your play style, whatever it is. So what it does is it forces players who might be pretty good at the game, but even on days where they're trying to relax and they're trying to kick back, it doesn't matter. The algorithm will force them into a toxic, sweaty experience every single game they have a chance, even if they aren't playing up to par like they usually are. And even if they go 3, 4, 5 matches and they're slowing down and they're proving that their skill isn't, up to what it was previously, the previous day, the matchmaking will still force them through this cycle. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And again, like I said, people just know. They aren't excited for the next game. They aren't curious for the next game. They aren't, pumped to see what group of people they're going to be versing next. There's none of that when it comes to current COD, and that's what's taken out the life and soul of it. Mark Rubin, I'm so happy that you noticed this and you acknowledge this, because I'm sure there's a lot of other developers who notice it but will not acknowledge it because, like I said, it's like a taboo topic in the game development scene, I guess. Developers don't talk. It's like forbidden. It's banned behind the scenes. Of course, we all know, everybody in the communities, we all talk about it, but for some reason, developers don't speak about it. They literally, act like it's non-existent. It's the weirdest thing I've ever witnessed. But Mark Rubin was so open about it, and I'm happy that he sees why we don't like skill-based matchmaking. And it's not going to be one of those people that say, oh, you just want no skill-based matchmaking because you want to pub thump nonstop. You want to be able to thump noobs nonstop. Bro, Battlefield 2042, more than half of my games, I might perform pretty good. My stats are pretty good. But I can still casually just kick it and enjoy the game and do what I could play a medic role, I can fly around in a support chopper, and I'll still have just as good of a time getting my butt whooped doing other roles in Battlefield than sweating out and being the best in the lobby, okay? It doesn't come down to that. Like I said, it comes down to the uniqueness of your experiences, okay? That's what it comes down to. The people, the interactions, the matches you are in. Every match of COD, you are versing an MLG event. Okay, that's what you're, back then you would go into ranked for that if you want that experience. And in casual, you'll get a nice variety. You get that everywhere else. Battlefield 2042, you get a nice variety. Halo Infinite, you hop into like Big Team Battle, for example. I always get a nice variety. My God, every single team is mixed to the max. And of course, sometimes, your team might be lopsided, the enemy team might be lopsided. That, of course, is a downside of skill-based matchmaking. That's random like that. It happens. But 9 times out of 10, both teams have great players, both teams have average players, both teams have new players, so on and so forth. It's a little bit of something for everybody. New players will be able to have other new players to verse, but at the same time, they'll have, higher tier players that they can learn from. Higher tier players, it's not like they're stomping a bunch of noobs all the day long. They have other high tier players that are going to try to compete with them at the same time. Mediocre players that have people under them, people at the same level, people who are better. Get what I'm saying here? I mean, I can repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and I know people are still going to say that, all I want to do is stomp noobs, but I just hope that the mass majority of people see what is being said, and I hope more developers will bring this topic to light. Stop keeping it under, like I said, pushing it under the rug, and bring it out and discuss this, because it's big stuff. It's big news. And I promise you, the word skill-based matchmaking, you can throw that into. If you make a trailer that says we have no skill-based matchmaking, I guarantee that it will give you major sales. That is how bad skill-based matchmaking has gotten current date, and that is how obnoxious it is for so many different players, that we are so desperate to get away from games that are so strict with skill-based matchmaking that if you just simply say it's no skill-based matchmaking in your game, they're going to try it out. It's literally as easy as that. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like button. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, want to chat me, this is what we do, so I have a Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also want to catch me live streaming video games over on Twitch, link is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See y'all next one. Peace out.